Hello everyone. I hope you are doing well. I will show you how to illustrate the silk top in the Procreate. So first of all, we need to look at the colors that we have in this top. Since silk is a very soft texture fabric and it has a lot of shine, for that we need to have at least one base color and then one color for the highlights and at least two to three colors for the shades. I've already picked the colors here and now I will be teaching you how we work around the layers and then the blending, the smudging tool, and then how we use the clipping mask and how it functions. Now before drawing, we need to open the reference image. We go to the images and here we have this silk top. Now make a new layer. Okay, we have already. With technical plan, I will start drawing the outlines of the garment. Now as you know, silk is a very light fabric, so it will be falling directly on the body. So you need to have the very flowy and soft lines of this garment outlines. We will be drawing this with the lightest color, the base. Now tap on this color, hold and drag, and then drop. So you see there's this option of threshold. The moment you drop it, but you do not pick your pencil, then you can manipulate this threshold. So you need to see when it's bleeding above like 43. So you need to bring it down. You can see it clearly. When it comes to 40, it's staying there. It's because there are some broken lines on which it is bleeding. I think these might be the areas for which it was bleeding. Now, once we are done with this, we will make another layer on the top of the base layer and make it as a clipping mask. Now, with this soft brush, since the silk fabric has very soft texture, now we will be adding these folds and the depths to the of the fabric with these shades and using this soft brush from this. It is in the airbrush. You can also find your brush from here. See, it's in the airbrush now. Now change the size accordingly. Like when you, I also prefer to have change the opacity. Even you can work without changing the opacity. So making the layer as a clipping mask, what it does basically, when you will draw on this layer 7, you can see it's not going outside. Now start drawing these shadows. We'll have clear shadows on the shoulder, near these armholes, side seams. So the moment you start adding the depth to the folds, you will see it's becoming more realistic. That you should make these dark areas with a very small size of brush. So you will be adjusting the size of the brush time to time. Now we can smudge it so it looks more smoother. And while going to this, picking this smudge tool, if you are using soft brush in your paint, and if you are picking this smudge, now what you will be doing, you will tap and hold. The moment you tap and hold, it makes the smudge brush similar to your paintbrush. You can see the highlights and shadows now. The moment we will add a little bit more of the dark color, it will start coming the look of the silk fabric. Also make sure you're not pressing too hard with the airbrush, because the moment you will start pressing too hard, see, it will gives you the harder, the very dark line. It all depends on how many pressure you put on this brush. So be careful while working, because it's silk fabric and it has very soft folds and soft fall in the fabric. Now smudge this a little bit. Reduce the opacity for smudge. Now make another layer and make it as a clipping mask. Now we will start adding the highlights. For highlights, in case of self fabric, I prefer to use technical pen because we will be using the Gaussian blur here. We want a little bit yellow effect here. Now when you will start dragging, tap and drag. The moment you start dragging, it will blur out all the lines we did on this layer. See, we should add a little bit of more the darker color. Back to the soft brush. Smudge this out a little bit, everything. Give it a more smoother look. We are done with our silk.